and welcome to Educate Our Youth. I'm your host, Janet Keith Thompson. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Educate Our Youth, also known as the Mamie Keith and Aline Bradley Educational Foundation. The mission of Educate Our Youth is to make college more accessible through education, mentoring, professional development, and any other means available to students by offering programs such as ACT and SCT workshops, tour college campuses, assist with applying for financial aid, financial literacy, young entrepreneurship, and academics and athletes. Our guest today is Mr. Billy Dajuste. He is the Director of Admissions and Recruitment at Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona, Florida. Good evening, Mr. Dajuste. How are you this afternoon?
Good evening, and happy Tuesday to all. Hopefully, you guys are having a phenomenal day. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys today.
Thank you for this. Nice to have you here with us. Listen, let's get started and tell us a little bit about Bethune-Cookman University.
Well, Bethune-Cookman University is one of those historically black colleges that's been around since 1904. Founded by a phenomenal woman, a visionary like Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, who in her heart wanted to educate young people who were less fortunate. At this time in Daytona Beach, way back in 1904, Daytona Beach used to be a segregated city where people of color didn't have the opportunity to be educated. Just down the street here, we're only 2 miles away from the beautiful beaches here in Daytona. You weren't able to even go to the beach and enjoy a nice afternoon. So being from South Carolina, Dr. Bethune moved to Daytona here, wanting to start her own school, which at that time was unheard of, right? For a woman to dare try starting her own school was almost unheard of. People thought this lady was crazy. What is she possibly thinking? Let alone a woman of color at that point was simply something hadn't been done before. So she overcame those obstacles and struggles and was able to get that going. So we're all reaping those benefits now with some of the nice perks we have now. Even Vice President Kamala Harris, our students, we were talking about that a few weeks ago. We do not have today a Vice President Kamala Harris in the White House without Dr. Bethune laying the foundation way back in the early 1900s, fighting for those rights to be able to reap those benefits today. So we're very proud to represent Dr. Bethune and her legacy, and we're going to continue to keep that moving forward for sure.
Tell me, what roles led you to Bethune-Cookman?
Oh man, long journey. For me, I was born here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, small city of Fort Lauderdale, and was raised by my parents. My dad is a minister, so we traveled quite a bit. I lived in Montreal for some time, lived in Haiti, so I learned how to speak different languages, French and Creole. And then I made my way down back to Fort Lauderdale, where I went to Fort Lauderdale High School. And then I was able to get admitted into Bethune-Cookman because I love music. Growing up in the church, I joined the concert chorale here. I received the music scholarship to sing in the choir here at Bethune-Cookman, and it seemed to be a perfect fit. And I've been here ever since. I went to study abroad for a little while after college, and I'm here working with the institution. I've now been employed with the institution now for almost 13, 14 years. It's just feeling like it's been a second home away from home for me for sure, and continue to serve until God gives me another plan.
Oh yeah. Well, it sounds like you're doing well there to be employed there for over 13 years. It's a perfect fit. That's what it sounds like to me. So
no, it is.
Yeah. So what's the first year? First year student? What is it like for a first year student at Bethune?
First year students at Bethune-Cookman, we have a plan drawn out for our students. In fact, we have a department called Success Coaches, right? It's a group of dedicated staff members who are here to pretty much guide the freshman students throughout the entire process, from our virtual orientation, which will actually begin here in May, the first week of May, where every incoming freshman will get a chance to meet with us virtually. They'll meet with their academic advisors, financial aid advisors, their housing coordinator, student health coordinator, so they can all meet them face to face, at least virtually for now. So when they get here, they have gotten this information ahead of time. Everyone is on the same page. We can have mom and dad involved in the process. So we're all speaking the same language. We're all on the same boat and making sure we're communicating on the same length so we can all be ready to have a smooth transition, because we really believe that freshmen who get off to a great start that freshman year have a higher success rate as far as graduation. Right. So if you get off to a great start, it builds confidence. The goal for every freshman here on our campus is to help them achieve a 3.5 grade point average or higher during their first year. We offer 24-hour tutoring sessions, and it's all free of charge right on campus. So whenever you need it, whether in person or virtually, someone is there to help you. So we try not to leave out any excuses not to do well. The only way you don't do well here at Bethune-Cookman, if you simply do not go to class and then you ignore all the possible help that is provided for you. Other than that, we put together a nice game plan here to make sure that if you want to be successful, we have the support system, the love and care to make sure you have that successful transition from high school into college for sure.
Listen, I would like you to do a favor for me. It's a rare thing to interview someone that speaks two languages. So for my audience sake, would you please say something and introduce yourself to the audience in French and in Creole?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, bonsoir tout le monde. Je m'appelle Billy Dajuste. Je suis le directeur de Bethune-Cookman University. Bonsoir tout le monde. Comment nous y? Moi, je Billy Dajuste et moi, servi comme directeur ici là à Bethune-Cookman University.
Great. So the latter was Creole, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the second one was Creole. Right? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. French and Creole.
Okay. Well, this sounds a beautiful language. Beautiful language.
Yes, so, we love languages here.
Yeah. What is the admission process? I know a lot of students don't have to take the SAT and ACT are not required because of COVID, but what's the standard admission process?
No, for us, no, very good question. We do a good job of adjusting when need be. In fact, I'll share my screen with all of you guys so you can see. This is our phenomenal screen here at Bethune-Cookman University, where you start the process to get to know what's going on and how to move forward. Right now, we're highlighting our seniors. We're having graduation here on May 8th, celebrating those guys who will be graduating, and it's actually going to be in person. So they're excited about that. We're doing very well here. God forbid, yeah, Daytona Beach. We haven't been impacted as badly with COVID, so we have a pretty good plan in place to be able to host graduation in person safely. Every student is only able to bring 2 guests to the ceremony, but at least they get to be here in person to be celebrated.
Right.
They're taking pictures now, getting their resumes ready for the final stretch. Final exams are coming up to make sure we're ready to celebrate these guys. I'll be there myself to shake some hands. Some guys I recruited back 4 years ago, to see them now graduate. That's where we get all the benefits, and we enjoy those moments because that's what it's all about. And seeing them through the process and seeing them graduate, that's what makes it all worthwhile for me. So for new students this year that are applying, we provided you guys with all the information right online. We've made this very user-friendly, sharing information online with incoming students. It gives you the requirements that we target, which is a 2.5 grade point average or higher for every incoming freshman. And this year we are test optional for acceptance, which means if you have not been able to take the test, the SAT or the ACT, once you do apply and we do receive your transcripts, we provide you with the decision within 48 to 72 hours. So pretty quick turnaround. Wow. And then we have extended our deadline until June 1st to allow those who are able to take the test to submit it as late as June to be considered for any of our academic scholarships as well.
Okay, sounds great. Sounds great. So your classes, I'm sorry, student housing. Do you have co-ed dorms on campus or freshman dorms pertaining to freshmen only, or do you mix up your classes?
Very good question. No, for us here at Bethune-Cookman, freshmen, the living arrangements for freshmen is quite different from upperclassmen, right? Because in an effort to make sure those guys get off to a great start that freshman year, we have some rules in place to kind of help guide them and make sure they're navigating well and they're adjusting well to being away from home. So, you know, freshmen, for example, are not allowed visitation from anyone of the opposite sex the first year. All right. So just anything that we feel could deter them from getting to that final destination. You know, that first year, we kind of have a little bit of some rules in place to make sure you're not getting too carried away, right? So you can get off to a great start, get to know the culture here at Bethune-Cookman, get to know what to do, where to go find the tutors to make sure you achieve that 3.5. After your first year, you've done your part. At that point, we trust you. You move into the upperclassmen dorms. We know you're going to carry yourself well. You know the culture and what's expected. And then from there, we expect you to carry yourself accordingly and do a great job here at Bethune-Cookman as well. So again, it's worked so far very well. I went through that myself. I kind of, looking back at it now, it was a good thing. I didn't like it as a freshman, of course. I felt
Yeah.
like, man, why are you guys giving me these rules? But in
Right.
a way, it's just limiting the visitation time per se. They have lobby areas and lounges where they can hang out and watch TV and play cards and dominoes and read books. And of course, we're right near the beaches, right? 2 miles away from the beach. So there's nice hangout spots there, movie theaters, shopping centers, bowling alleys, skating rings, game rooms, and you also have the beaches. There's outdoors as well, which is a nice perk for our students where they're not stuck indoors trying to have a good time or trying to gather for different gathering activities. The beach has been kind of like the saving grace where they can kind of go
Okay.
out there in their own little circle of friends in their own little area away from the general public and still enjoy some outdoor activities as well to kind of breathe and get some fresh air.
And it's not limited to freshmen, right? To leave campus and enjoy themselves.
No, ma'am. Everyone, in fact, 85% of our student body resides on campus.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so most of them live here. We have some seniors who live off campus, and most of our freshmen and sophomores, majority of them reside on campus.
Do you require auditions or essays in your application for admissions?
The essay portion, not lately. No, we no longer require that. We
Okay.
do use it for different considerations. We encourage it. However, if somebody did not include that, that will now will not penalize you for not doing so.
Okay.
Right? We do have a placement test system. Once you do get on campus, if you did not take that test through the SAT or ACT, you will take it with us once you get here on campus, so we can get an idea of where you stand. What are some of the areas of weaknesses that we can help you on when you get on campus to make sure you're getting off to that great start. So either way, we're going to offer that testing when you get here, so even for those right now who may not have that SAT or ACT, where you are admitted. Once you arrive on campus, you will receive a placement test. Right, so
Right.
you can get an
Right.
idea of where you stand mathematically, what your science is, your reading, and etc.
Right.
So the advisors will have something to work with to know how to best assist you to make sure you're getting off to that great start when you get here.
What percentage of students graduate in 4 years from Bethune?
4 years right now, we're right at that 45% mark, right?
Okay.
Right now, graduation rates have varied because we have programs on campus where literally coming here, they know that they're not going to graduate here, right? So the graduation rates they haven't played as big of a role as they used to, right? So once an institution now has those pre-programs like pre-med, pre-law, pre-pharmacy,
Okay. Okay.
pre-dentistry, they're
Okay.
coming here in mind knowing they're here for 2 to 3 years, but they
And
have
then
to
they'll.
transfer to go
Okay.
complete that degree somewhere else. That would always lower that graduation rate for the
I
number
hear
of
you.
freshmen you have coming in compared to those that actually graduated. So they're going to graduate somewhere else. We just don't get credit for it. That other
Right.
institution where they finish will get that credit to graduating that student. So as long as that student does well, we don't play as big of a emphasis on graduation rates. Once you have those pre-programs, it's automatically going to lower those numbers for sure. We target it more based on each program, right? What is the graduation rate for business, for nursing, for
Okay.
education? Yeah, we separate that now just to kind of give parents and students more of a targeted number, because if you're coming into the School of Business, you might want to know what is the graduation rate for business majors as opposed to the
Okay.
institution as a whole. That gives you more of a gauge as to what you're getting into to get some feel for that program and its success rate for sure.
Nursing. What other programs are you offering? Do you offer political science, for instance? And what else do you?
Absolutely. In fact, I can share some of those programs with you. At
Okay.
BCU here, we offer a list of programs. They're in alphabetical order, starting with
Mhm.
accounting all the way down to sociology.
Okay.
And our top five the last 3 years have been in business and nursing, the STEM, music, and education. Right, so
Okay.
those have been at the top program as far as graduation rates, job placement after college, and those are going to graduate school. So those we've done very well in those five areas. And also, we're celebrating our newest major on campus, which is the music recording technology. We've now added to our program. We've built the new studio on our campus for students who love to write and produce music. And now they
Okay.
can do so here free of charge. And as of 2019, Bethune-Cookman is now the only HBCU in the country that now has its own record label, right? We
Oh,
have BCU,
really? Okay.
Yeah, we have BCU records where talented
Okay.
musicians could be signed through our label while they're getting their degree. It doesn't matter what you're getting your degree in. In fact, the most recent signee is she's a nursing student, right? Who just
Okay.
happens to love music. So while she's getting her degree in music, she's also working on her musical album to have that ready. Once it's done, we help market that music throughout the country, sending it
Oh,
out to
wow.
BET, to MTV,
Oh,
to the music industry to give those guys some exposure to expose that talent and making sure they're taking full advantage of every possible opportunity while they are here with us for those 4 years. So I think it's phenomenal. It gives
mhm.
our students something else to focus on as well. Right now, with limited social activities, now it's a nice little a time. If you're bored, you don't have anything to do,
Right.
why not go sit in the studio and spend some time and work on your music? And it keeps them on our campus as opposed to go out there and try to find something to do. And sometimes that's when you get yourself caught up in the wrong situation per se. So we love that. And they've done a great job of following the protocols. In fact, we have students on our campus as we speak, and they've done a great job of following every protocol we've put in place to make sure we can
Okay.
keep a safe environment on campus, because right now, not too many institutions are able to have students on their campuses. So we're
Oh,
blessed,
right.
fortunate that we're able to at least make that happen for those students who just don't do as well virtually, right? Some struggle
Mhm.
sitting in front of a computer for 3 or 4 hours. To
Yes.
have that focus for 3 or 4 hours is difficult for anyone to do, let alone a 17-year-old. To ask
Yeah.
them to do that is a lot to ask for. So we're grateful that we're able to at least offer those options for those students who want to be on campus.
Well, that's good for the music department. That means that record companies and radio companies, they can get to play their music, so and get a feel
That's
of
it. That's right.
who's going to hit the charts or not. So that's
That's
great.
correct. That's correct. And we do have our own TV and radio station here as well. For those who want to
Okay.
go into broadcasting, journalism. In fact, they are promoting. And if you come to Daytona Beach right now, if you're ever in Daytona, go to 99.1 and you will hear
Okay.
our radio station. And the DJs are actually students, right, who are
Okay.
studying broadcast and journalism. They get a chance to practice their craft and sharpen those skills prior to leaving the college. And we partner with the Orlando Magic, with Cox Media Group, where they get a chance
Okay.
to intern with those companies while they're here. So they're learning
Right.
from the professionals. By the time they graduate, they've been doing this for at least a year and a half to 2 years. So they're not nervous. They feel confident going into those positions and doing a phenomenal job there as well.
Are there any other internships that you offer to students from other companies?
Of course, I mean, every program, just about every program here offers one. The popular ones, of course, are right there in Orlando. We have accounting firms that we work with for business, law firms for our law students, Disney World and SeaWorld. Disney World is
Okay.
one of our partners for theater, hospitality management, culinary. If you want to be a chef,
Okay.
going to
Okay.
playwriting, those types of positions, they work very well with us. In fact, they're here on our campus 2 or 3 times a year, just looking for talented
Okay.
students who want to go into those fields, and they're able to intern at Disney. And because they're one of our partners, any one of our students here currently enrolled, they get a 20 to 25% discounts off of their Disney World tickets for their
Tickets.
families. So
Okay.
if mom and dad is coming to town, they can purchase it through their app, through their account at Bethune-Cookman, and they can save the family some money for sure. 25% off the entire package, which saves you a little bit of money for
Yes.
those travel plans as well. So Disney's always been a partner of ours. Busch Gardens, all these theme parks in Orlando and Tampa, they work with us with those type of programs as well.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your academic support programs on campus.
What do you mean by that? Specific scholarships or support serve?
Tutoring. I mean, do you offer tutoring, writing labs, things of that nature, math labs?
Yep, for sure. No, every department has a lab.
Okay.
Every building has a lab for attached to each department, right? And we also, as I mentioned, offer the 24-hour tutoring sessions, not only in the library, but also virtually. So if let's say you in your room, you fell asleep early at 10 o'clock, which has happened a few times. I remember going through that. And then 2 a.m. you wake up, you're like, man, I'm wide awake now. Let me do some work, right? But you need some help. 2 in the morning, no library is going to be open at that time. But
Right.
we have that virtual tutoring sessions
Okay.
where you can log in and you'll have someone right on your laptop who can help you with whatever
Oh,
issues you're
wow.
having with that particular class. So That is now very nice, convenient for our student, where they can at any time, 24/7, whenever you need it, log into our portal that we do offer free of charge. Log in there. Someone is ready to assist you at any time.
That is marvelous. No reason to fail, right?
No excuses. We leave no
Yeah.
excuses. Whatever they
Yeah.
ask for, we try to provide it. And then now it's like,
Exactly.
okay, now what else is going to stop you? There's nothing in your way. What's stopping you now? So
Exactly.
we do it with love, and that's what I love to see about our faculty and staff. It's almost like they're like aunties and uncles here on our campus, where the way they talk to our students, you can feel it's more than just a teacher talking to a student. You can feel the
Okay.
connection where they take a certain pride of being here. Most of our professors and staff, I believe they can work anywhere around any other school, but they choose to be here because they understand the calling it is to work for a school like this and following that legacy of Dr. Bethune. And we go the extra mile, right? Being here late hours to 8, 9 o'clock at night, when most schools will be closing at 5. When they say 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
5 o'clock means 5 o'clock. They don't really help you after 5 o'clock. So
Right.
our campus is always open 24/7. Certain offices may not be functioning, but there's always someone here to assist. Our security office is open 24/7. The library is always open. So there's always that livelihood on our campus where our students can always hang out and have a good time here and not feel like they have to go off campus to go have a good time. So we try to provide a climate of family and fun here, right here on campus, where you don't feel like you're stuck and you're bored. There's nothing to do, and you can also enjoy yourself right here on campus.
Well, with all that being said, then I can assume that administrators are accessible to their students.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the things I love is you go in a dining hall just to have lunch, for example. I was there this
Right.
afternoon. Teachers were in there having lunch. Sometimes you see the
Okay.
president and the cabinet members
Okay.
sitting in the same dining hall having lunch with students. And that's not always the case at every school. Typically, you may have one area here with one meal for students. In a separate area, you have a private room for the dignitaries and the faculty and
Right.
staff, where they're having a
Right.
totally different meal, different from the students. And here it's more like a family gathering. It's like a family cookout every day here on campus, where everyone
Okay.
gets together in the dining hall. The DJ's playing music, so it creates this vibe of, wow, this is pretty cool. You're sitting here having buffets, buffet lunch, buffet dinner. The
Okay.
faculty and staff, they, instead of going out to spend their dollars at a restaurant, they come and spend the dollars right in our dining hall. You can pay to eat in the dining hall, and it's buffet, and so you don't have to go drive to go to an off-campus site. And right now with the pandemic, it's been another reason not to have to go anywhere,
Right.
right? While you're
Right.
on campus, you might as well stay on campus and have lunch here instead of risking going to a restaurant per se to go grab some lunch. So it's a nice community, a family feel. Once you're on the campus, you feel that it's quite different. That's why we love to invite folks to our campus, because we want you to come see it for yourself, right? Come on the
Yes.
campus, talk to
Yes.
the students, and walk the campus and get the vibe. You can feel that Southern hospitality where everyone is just nice. They're just nice. They want to say hello. What can I do to help you? Welcome to the campus. You kind of get
Right.
a different vibe from it. It's very welcoming. And we've seen students excel in that area, because it's amazing to see a 2.5 student come in with a 2.5 grade point average in high school, and now they're in college and they have a 3.5.
Right.
Sometimes I asked them, like, what happened? Why are you doing so well here at Bethune-Cookman, but you're struggling in high school? And they've always talked about the culture. The culture, they
Mhm.
feel the love from the faculty and staff. Folks go above and beyond and hold them accountable. And you feel like someone is always there to help. So with that support system, we just ask you to do your very best. We're going to
Exactly.
provide every possible resource that you need. Now you have no more excuses not to do well. So
Right.
we also hold them accountable to say, hey, you've asked for ABC. We've given you ABCD.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's no excuse not to now do well. You can't blame it on a teacher who didn't care, a counselor who didn't care. Now you have this support system. Now let's see your best work. So I love to see that transformation when they're graduating out of here with a 3.5, and you go back and look at the records coming into college. These were
Right.
2.5 students that so many schools wouldn't even give them a chance. But now they get to handpick where they want to go to graduate school, because they have a 3.5 or higher, and they can now select where they want to go. And now they have options, which is what it's all about. You want to have options to make the best selection for yourself.
Well, I tell you, if the president and dignitaries is having lunch in your dining hall, you must have some excellent cooks. You
Oh
know?
man, let me tell you, I'm in there every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. In fact,
Yeah.
tomorrow I'll be
Okay.
there. We have our soul food Wednesday. Thursday, we have international cuisine where we have 28 countries represented on our campus. So every
Oh, okay.
Thursday, we select a country and prepare a meal from that particular country. Right? We had a meal from Africa 2 weeks ago. Then it was the Bahamas. Then it was Haiti. Then we have
Okay.
Spanish, one of the Spanish countries. So we try to bring a little bit of that culture to make those students who are
Yeah.
from those countries get a little taste of home as well. If you're from Japan, we have students here from Japan. So they're
Okay.
a long ways away from home. So having the
Right.
Japanese food kind of makes them feel like, wow, this is pretty cool. As far away as I am from home, I'm able to still experience some of my own food here right on the campus. Right. So we make sure they have that experience, and our students get to learn from those cultures, learn about the history of that culture from that country, and their music, their food, etc., just to kind of broaden their horizon a bit. And then on Friday we have Seafood Friday. We have some
Okay.
baked fish, some fried fish, some cheesy grits, hush puppies, and
Oh, yeah.
cabbage, and the whole piece. So from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., they have access to buffet dining,
Oh, really?
where
Okay.
they don't have to spend any of the dollars if they don't want to. It's
Okay.
buffet style all day long for them. Yeah, they love that. They love the food here.
I can imagine. So you have so do your students in exchange programs as well? Do they go abroad, study abroad?
Phenomenal study abroad program. In fact, any one of you that show up on campus, you'll hear me talk about that quite a bit.
Okay.
I'm a big advocate for studying abroad. I did it myself.
Okay.
All 4 summers that I was here, I went to France and studied abroad in
Okay.
Toulouse, France, every summer. And it's an exchange program for us where the perk that we've created to entice students to take advantage of that is once you get on campus, instead of taking French 1, French 2 for the two
Mm-hmm.
foreign languages that normally required, if you take part of our 6-week study abroad program, you are no longer required to take those 2 courses. Right. So it's like a nice
Okay.
exchange. You can eliminate 2 classes of worth of work in 6 weeks, and you get to be in Europe at the same time. So it's kind of like a
Okay.
win-win, being able
Yes.
to expose them to the world outside of America. You earn
Right.
6 credit hours, which will transfer back to your transcripts, and it looks really attractive to companies and graduate
Your
schools
resumes.
to have,
Yeah.
to have credit hours from overseas on your transcripts, which is a
Mm-hmm.
rarity for minorities, especially. We don't travel
Yes.
overseas enough for school, so we want to change that whole paradigm and make sure our students are thinking outside the box, because our goal is to prepare this generation for the Job Corps in 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
What are the jobs that will be available in 4 years, and how do we
Right.
prepare them now for what's to come, looking ahead? Right? Because whatever's happening now may not be available for those students in 4 years. So we always thinking ahead of how do we best prepare them now for what that job market looks like in 2025. Right? So having experience with some sort of a second language is something
Mm-hmm.
that we're starting to kind of encourage more now, because we're the only nation that do not have a second language.
Exactly.
We've seen it firsthand, because going abroad, we meet students from all over the world, from Japan, China, Netherlands, Brazil, Spain, Africa, and every single 19-year-old speak 2 to 3 languages at least,
Mm-hmm.
except the American students. So that's something we have to start addressing and asking these
Yes.
questions. Why is that? Why haven't we learned a second language? Because right now it's hurting some of our students, right? I'm seeing 4.0 students get overlooked because you only speak
Okay.
English, right?
Okay.
We have millions of those around. So how many people of color or anyone live in America that have a second or a third language? So by having that, it makes you more marketable for certain companies, where you can serve more than the average American. If there's a
Mm-hmm.
customer base coming from France and you happen to speak French, you can now communicate with this potential buyer or an investor, which makes your company more marketable. So again, those are the avenues where we want to step into now and take advantage of those opportunities and expose our students to these conversations, and make sure they're at least considering that, to just take part of those study abroad opportunities for sure.
Well, that would begin in elementary and high school with the curriculum coordinator. Uh, they only
Yeah,
required them
good
to
luck with
spend.
that one.
I
Yeah,
know,
I'm
right?
not hopeful. I'm not hopeful there. So I don't
Exactly.
think that's the mindset right now. So
It's
at
not.
least I figure if we can at least have the study abroad
Yeah,
experience,
yeah.
just the 6 weeks, students retain more in 6 weeks than they do in 4 years
Oh, yeah,
sitting in a
okay.
classroom. Because there
Right.
you're forced to speak the language. You're forced to order a sandwich if you want. Je voudrais acheter un
Okay.
sandwich. You may sound
Right.
a little funny the first few weeks ordering that sandwich, but if you're doing it daily for a whole month,
Hmm.
right, you get more comfortable and the words start sounding a little bit better because now you're forced to utilize it on a daily basis. So that's what it's all
Hmm.
about. You have to have the practice. Taking the classes just doesn't do it.
Right. So let me ask you, can students live on campus for 4 years? And do you have off-campus housing? And can freshmen bring cars on campus?
Yes, students can definitely reside on campus all 4 years. In fact, we've seen an increase of students now wanting to return back on campus because in
Okay.
certain areas, the cost of living has gone up.
No,
Where
mm-hmm.
now the rent has gone up. So now they're like, wait a minute, I don't want to pay rent. Let me move back on campus where I don't have to
Exactly.
worry about paying rent and light bills and
Mhm.
utilities, of course. And yes, they can bring their vehicles. We changed that a few years back, so freshmen can bring their cars. And
Oh, they
again,
can. Okay.
they can. Yeah, we entrust them with that now. Although most of them, when they bring their cars, being in Daytona Beach, because we're a smaller town,
Hmm.
you'll realize that you really don't have a need for it, right? Because
Okay.
nothing is more than 8 miles away from our campus,
So you can
right?
walk everywhere you want to go, pretty
You can
much.
walk. There's buses. We have BCU shuttles. Even let's say a
Okay.
student is here without a vehicle, and you need to go to Walmart and buy some groceries or Publix. We have our own shuttle who takes you there to Walmart and picks you up, right?
Okay.
That's all part of your package. You don't have to pay. It's we get free transportation to and from any of our parties, any of the football
Oh,
games.
okay.
You go to a football stadium for the game, show your BCU ID, jump on the BCU shuttle. We'll take you to the stadium and bring you back without
Okay.
having to worry about any of these expenses. If you get a cold or a flu, you need some medicine. No need to go to CVS. We have our own infirmary here on campus. Go see the
Okay.
nurse. You'll get that medicine free of charge. So we try to provide as much of those basic needs as possible,
Okay.
where those students don't feel the need to kind of call mom and say, Mom, I need to do this, or even doing your laundry. They don't have to pay for
Right.
laundry. Laundry is free of charge, right?
Oh,
So if you're
great.
here, you don't have to call mom and ask, like I used to do, ask mom for $20 so I can do my laundry. Now they have it free of charge. Well, they don't have to worry about these minor issues that will kind of take them off course. Just focus on your studies. We've
Hmm.
taken care of these minor issues. Now let's show your best work while you're here.
So let's talk about. I've read some of the information you sent me, and you have about 4 or 5 scholarships going on. So, explain to the audience the presidential scholarship and the Excelsior Level 1 and Level 2.
Absolutely. Taking you right into our page under admissions, we have 4 different criteria of scholarships, starting with the highest level being our presidential scholarship, which requires a
Right.
3.75 grade point average, along with a 1240 on the SAT or a 26 ACT composite score. This package would pay the entire cost of enrollment, which is $24,690. This covers all expenses for the year. And it
Okay.
is a 4 year deal for this package where you get a total of $98,760. As long
Hmm.
as you maintain that 3.5, this scholarship is renewable for up to 3 years after your freshman year.
Okay.
So if you maintain a 3.5 with this scholarship, all 4 years of covered, you pay $0. And you also get $1,000 for your books each year. So that's
Okay.
$4,000 for 4 years for your books, which brings this up to $102,760 in total. So they don't have to apply for these
Great.
scholarships. Once you apply, and we have your transcripts and test scores, as we are reviewing your scholarship, your application for a decision, we
Yeah.
automatically review it for one of these scholarships. A little bit lower
Great.
full tuition, 3.5 GPA, 1130 SAT with a 23 ACT pays you 14,794, which is the tuition and fees for students. And that is for in-state or out-of-state students. We do not charge an out-of-state tuition.
Oh, that's
The
great to
fee,
know.
yeah, the
Yeah.
fee is the same if whether you're in Florida, Carolina, New York, Texas, Jersey, Japan, China, everyone pays the exact same cost. And this one
Okay.
is a three-year deal where 48,382, maintain a 3.3, you get the renewable tuition scholarship automatically. And of
Okay.
course, made $8,000, you 3.25 with a 1020 SAT or a 20 ACT. This one pays you $8,000 annually. Over 3 years, it's 24,000. Simply maintain a 3.0, right? And
Okay.
last but not least, you have the Wildcat Grant, 3.0
Right.
GPA with a 940 or an 18. It pays you $4,000. Over 3 years, it's 12,000. Maintain a 2.7 to get the renewable deal. So we offer different types of scholarships, whether it be in academics. We also offer Division I athletics scholarship for
Okay.
men and women. On the women's side, we have basketball, bowling, cross country, golf, softball, tennis, track, and volleyball. And on the men's side, we have baseball, basketball, cross country, football, golf, tennis, and track and field. So these are all areas where students can showcase their talent and take part of these phenomenal opportunities. In fact, recently, one of our golfers was selected by Tiger Woods, right?
Okay.
Mr.
Right.
Mac here, Tiger Woods, he was invited to the PGA Tour. You can see him here representing Bethune-Cookman.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Shot a 74 under, did such a great job. He was invited back again for a second go-around. So Willie Mack, again,
Okay.
we honored him and celebrated his work. And every coaching staff you guys are looking for those programs. You say, well, I play golf. There's the roster for the team. There's the coaching
Right.
staff, and their information is right here for you. If you want to reach out to the coach, phone number, email is available. And that is the case for every program. If you play football, you say, well, right now, Bethune-Cookman is moving from the MEAC to the SWAC. So we're excited about that. And if you're interested in joining the team, you got the entire coaching staff available right here for you per position. If you're a quarterback,
Okay.
running back, they're all here with their contact numbers and emails and Twitter even. And if you're looking for the roster and say, well, what are the players up to? You can reach out to these gentlemen. We're always sharply dressed here when we get on the plane to go represent Bethune-Cookman. They dress for business. It is a business trip,
Okay.
so we get on the road and we get on the field here and go take care of business and come back and take care of business in the classroom. So, so academics, athletics, music, as I talked about, dance programs. So these are all different opportunities where students can take
Right.
advantage of those skills to help you get your degree. So if you love to sing, join the music program to help get your
Mm-hmm.
business degree. If you love to dance, try out for the dance program so you can earn a degree in nursing. One of our recent dancers, she graduated a few years ago. She was a computer engineer major. Dancing, she was a 14-karat gold dancer. She's now working for NASA,
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
So, I mean, 3.9 GPA while she was here. And lo and behold, you saw her dancing on the band field, but don't let that fool you. She was a straight A student here on campus.
Right.
Now
Right.
she's working for NASA with students from Princeton and Harvard, right? So
Okay.
I love we love being those underdogs coming from a small school like Bethune-Cookman, and now you're in the same room with students who went to Harvard and Princeton, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there's a level of pride and achievement with that we took a different route, but we ended up in the same room anyway, in spite of.
Right.
So we
Exactly.
love that to be able to get away from that stigma of attending an HBCU somehow holds you back from achieving. Not the
I
case at all.
no,
So
no.
we'd love to prove that fact for sure.
I never agree with that statement because there's a
Yeah.
lot of HBCU students are doing fabulous, fabulous work and have fabulous jobs, you know?
I mean, look at the vice president of America, right in the White
Yes,
House.
right,
She went,
right,
she went to an
exactly.
HBCU. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So tell me, before retirement, I worked for the TRIO program. Do y'all have any TRIO programs on campus?
We don't
Like,
have one on campus. Ours is called differently. We have different programs that kind of
okay,
provide similar services,
I got you.
but it's run through each department. Like education, our education
Okay,
department has those campaigns where we reach out to the community for the elementary, middle, and high schools in the community. We have different programs and campaigns with them, working together with those high schools and middle schools and elementary schools to kind of
okay.
encourage them and let them know about college. We
College,
have days where
right.
yeah, where we go to their schools and have a presence on the campus for them to talk to college students to have those interactions early, whether it be in athletics, academics, music, to let them know, hey, you can actually perform whatever you're doing in high school. You can earn scholarships for the same thing when you get to college.
Right.
Oftentimes, they don't know that. You play the trumpet, guess what? You join the marching band. If you keep working on your craft, this could be your ticket to pay for college. You can earn a scholarship with the marching band and get your degree in whatever field you're looking for. So I think just having those conversations and seeing someone who's younger, kind of this, oh, wow, you look like my older brother. Yes, I go to school up the street here and I'm here for you. So for them, they're like, wow, really? Yeah, I want to come help you. We want to be mentors to help you, guide you through the process to make sure that you have college as part of your plans. We don't want you to hang around at home after high school. No, you're going to go to college. You're going to find something to do, not staying at mom's house and just hanging out. We want to make sure you have a plan so you can create your own future for sure. Yeah.
So y'all have the ROTC there?
Yes, ma'am. We have the Air Force ROTC program. And great scholarships as well. We get anywhere from 10 to 20 of those guys every year. And we also partner with Embry-Riddle, another institution down the street, where if you are a student here, although we have the Air Force, our students can still take part of the Army and the Marines program with the ROTC program at Embry-Riddle. So we have this nice exchange program. You can take part of those activities there as well and take part of those scholarship opportunities if you are, in love with ROTC for sure. So those are definitely great opportunities for our students once they get here.
Well, one question I haven't asked you all evening: what do you charge for application fees, or do you waive application fees?
This year we are waiving all application fees for every senior. So we have not charged any fees this year. We've been finding ways to make this process more feasible for everyone, where there's no excuse. You say you don't have the application fee, don't worry about it. We're not charging one this year. You didn't take the test. We're accepting without test scores. Right. After they receive their scholarships and awards, they realize, oh my God, I'm short $5,000. We don't have that. We are now doing payment installments. We can do monthly payments as a parent to cover your remaining balance. So we're finding creative ways to make this thing possible for everyone, no matter what your circumstances are. If a parent lost a job, or you've been furloughed, or you're struggling a bit where I can't pay this entire amount, but I can do some monthly installments, then let's make it work. We find a way to make that work for everyone. So again, trying to find a way where there's just no excuse not to do this unless you choose not to. But if you want to, we'll draft a plan based on your situation that works for you and your family.
I tell you, Mr. Dajuste, the information you've given this afternoon is fabulous. And your university offers a lot of incentives for students to try and go there or to attend that university. I mean, it really does. You fee waivers, you don't have to pay for application fee waivers. Your scholarship programs are awesome. It really sounds like it's an awesome school. Hopefully, after COVID in the next couple of years, hopefully you'll still be there. I'd like to bring students down, just
I
to
would love that. I would love that. I would love that. So, let me also, before we continue, let me show your audience here a quick little promo that tells you a little bit more about BCU. Take about a minute or two to show you about BCU, hearing a couple student testimonials, just to hear it directly from them, so you know what that experience is like for them as well.
Sounds good.
T'es venu en boîte avec des meufs, on t'a recalé, oh là là. Ni en tactile, ni en T9, zéro smiley, non, non, non. J'suis pas des leurs, Robert Marley, Bobby, Bobby. Comme un never, comme jamais, j'suis dans le truc. J'suis dans le texte.
Oh, that was nice. I know you have an awesome band, right? Huh?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Alumni
Yeah.
are telling our story one interview at a time. Wildcat Highlights, Bethune-Cookman University.
My name is Jerry Freeman. I'm a senior business administration major from Atlanta, Georgia. And the two things that I've learned from the College of Business and Entrepreneurship will definitely be prioritizing and establishing the correct skills to run a proper business. Well, this summer I had the privilege and opportunity for interning with the City of South Fulton Park and Recreation System. I was the project manager intern. Things that I learned from my internship would definitely be strategic planning and organization. With dealing with the community and the people of the City of South Fulton, there are many programs and projects that are being ran for the community, for seniors, for the youth, for the teen age group. So you just have to really plan out. You really have to plan out things strategically. My plans are after graduation, I plan on going to grad school to obtain my MBA, my Master's in Business Administration, with a concentration in sports and entertainment management.
Sitting on the beach, I didn't know that I would be experiencing so many beautiful places. The beach is a beautiful place to be. The water really clears my mind, and on top of that, coming to Bethune-Cookman, it was my escape from everything else.
When I first stepped on this campus, I basically didn't have anything, just 2 bags to my name. But I immediately understood that this school is about family, unity, love.
She gave me love.
She gave me hope.
She gave me the thirst for education.
And most of all, she gave me the respect for the uses of power. We live in a way that reflects our deepest convictions. And most of all, we interact with the part of serve. So take a look at Bethune-Cookman University.
Yeah, this is what I mean by these nice production done by our students. Again, just showcasing what Bethune-Cookman is all about, right?
Yeah.
No matter what your situation is, you come in here with the right mindset. You're going to find a support system that people are just here looking for someone to help sometimes, right? So if you just apply yourself and do your best work, nothing is impossible here on our campus.
I like the milestones of heart, head, and hand.
Indeed.
I like that.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Listen, it's been a pleasure having you on this afternoon. I really enjoyed the conversation and the information. Hopefully we have you back some other time in the future.
No, I look forward to it. It'll be my pleasure. Thank you for what you do. Know that going forward, any information you guys may need, feel free to reach out. I'll be more than happy to assist. If you've ever in Daytona vacationing or in Disney World or Orlando, let us know you're in town. We'll give you a nice tour of our campus. Hopefully we can go back to normal here soon, where we can start having guests on our campus again with those protocols. So we're excited. We always love to have visitors here to come see the campus. I believe once you are on our campus, it makes such an impression on you, and you'll leave with that experience. Whether you attend or not, you're always going to remember the experience of being here on our campus. For sure.
Really nice to meet my granddaughter, and my sister-in-law works on your campus. So I don't know what department she works in, but she's employed by Zoom. So
there we go.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So listen, you have a great evening, and again, thank you so much for coming on this afternoon.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me. And again, moving forward in any way I can help, don't hesitate. Just feel free to reach out and we'll be here to assist.
I will reach out to you, definitely.
All right. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Hell Wildcats. Bye-bye.